Hello students, my name is Aman Kumar and I am here with a lecture video on hormonal control of insect metamorphosis. This lecture video is specially framed for the students of BSc Zoology Semester 2 and Semester 6 of Marwari College, Ranchi. Before coming to the hormonal control of insect metamorphosis, we must have a quick recap of what we have studied in our previous lectures on metamorphosis. So, as we know, metamorphosis is the transition from an immature larval stage to a sexually mature adult, which involved various morphological, functional, and habitat changes. And we have also seen there are three kinds of metamorphosis based on their developmental stages, namely ametabolous, hemimetabolous, and holometabolous. Now, let's come to the topic, which is the endocrine control of insect metamorphosis. As in our previous video, we have seen the genetic control of insect metamorphosis, which involved various genes and their products in regulating insect metamorphosis. In this lecture video, we will see how the secretion from endocrine glands regulates insect metamorphosis. The secretion from endocrine glands, that is, the hormones, are chemical products which are produced by an organism which circulates in blood and regulates a long term physiological, developmental, and behavioral activities. These hormones are said to control growth and development in insects by its predetermined sequential secretion. The first insect hormone to be discovered was prothoracicotropic hormone, also known as PTTH or the brain hormone. And the first person to study insect metamorphosis was Wigglesworth. The three key hormones that controls insect metamorphosis are PTTH, 20-hydroxyecdazone, and the juvenile hormone. Apart from the two key hormones responsible for molting, there are other key secretions which play significant role in insect metamorphosis, like the neurosecretions, the adipokinetic hormone, eclusion hormone, and various other peptides. Here in this chart we can see the glands and their associated secretions which play important role in insect metamorphosis. Here in this diagram we can see the location of various glands and whose secretion has role in insect metamorphosis, like the neurosecretory cells, corpora elata, corpora cardiaca, and the prothoracic glands. Three key hormones play important role in insect molting and metamorphosis. First is prothoracicotropic hormone, second is 20-hydroxyecdazone, and the third is juvenile hormone. Now let's see each of these hormone in detail. PTTH or the prothoracicotropic hormone. PTTH is an peptide hormone and is made up of two polypeptide of 109 amino acid each. This hormone is essential for molting and pupation. The molting process is initiated in the brain when the neurosecretory cells release PTTH in response to the neural, hormonal, and environmental signal, after which PTTH hormone gets stored in a gland called corpora cardiaca, which serves as an storage and release gland. PTTH stimulates the production of ecdazone by the prothoracic gland by activating the RTK pathway, which is a signaling pathway in these cells. Now, the second vital hormone, the juvenile hormone, also known as neotenin. Juvenile hormone is secreted from corpora elata. This gland was discovered by Jennet during 1899. The secretory cells of corpora elata are active during larval molts but are inactive during the metamorphic molt. This hormone inhibits the genes that promotes development of adult characters, that is wings, reproductive organs, and the adult genitalia, or otherwise may cause the insect to remain in an immature, that is, the nymphal or the larval stage. Corpora elata shrinks during late larval instars or the nymphal instars and stops producing juvenile hormone. Now, let's come to the functional significance of juvenile hormone. The first important role is the production of larval to larval molt and inhibition of metamorphic molt. Other activities controlled are polymorphism, regeneration, color change, and the production of yolk, etc. Now, the third vital hormone, that is ecdysone, also known as the molting hormone. The neurosecretory cells activates prothoracic gland to secrete ecdysone. The first experimental proof about the importance of prothoracic gland was produced by Japanese worker Fukuda. Ecdysone gets modified in the peripheral tissue to become an active molting hormone known as 20-hydroxyecdysone or 20E. This is an important point to remember about ecdysone. Molting hormone affects many cells throughout the body, but its principal function is to stimulate series of physiological events collectively called apolysis that leads to the synthesis of new exoskeleton. Further, the significance of ecdysone includes molting initiation, breaking of larval to pupal diapause, renewal of growth, deposition of new cuticle, and lastly the inhibition of corpora elata. Now let's come to the molecular mechanism of ecdysone action. Like the amphibian's thyroid hormone, which regulates its metamorphosis by binding to receptors, 20-hydroxyecdysone cannot bind to DNA by itself. It also needs an receptor. So it must first bind to the ecdysone receptor, and then this ecdysone receptors forms an active molecule by dimerizing with ultraspiracle. The dimerized forms binds with promoter elements of ecdysone responsive gene, and these genes are further activated by histone methyltransferase activities recruited by the complex made up of ecdysone, ecdysone receptor, and the ultraspiracle protein. Other than the above three described hormones, some other hormones also has its important role in insect metamorphosis, like the eclusion hormone. The concentration of eclusion hormone secreted from the ventral ganglia starts at the end of apolysis. Simultaneously, the concentration of ecdysterosterol falls. The eclusion hormone triggers ecdysis, or the physical process of shredding of old exoskeleton. Next hormone is the Burschian hormone. The rising concentration of eclusion hormone stimulates neurosecretory cells in ventral ganglia to secrete Burschian, and this hormone is essential for hardening and darkening of integument, or in simple terms we can say tanning and sclerization. Now let's summarize the whole process of hormonal regulation in insect metamorphosis. The first step is the initiation of molting in larva, which occurs when the neurosecretory cells release PTTH in response to neural, hormonal, or the environmental signal, and these PTTH further stimulates the production of ecdysone by binding with prothoracic gland. Further stimulates the production of ecdysone by prothoracic glands, and after its modification in the peripheral tissue, molting is initiated by one or more pulse of 20-hydroxyecdysone. The first pulse causes the cellular commitment in epidermis, and the second pulse causes differentiation events associated with molting. The successive larval to larval molt are produced when large circulating level of juvenile hormone is present, and as long as juvenile hormone is present, or we can say the large concentration of juvenile hormone is present, the 20-hydroxyecdazone stimulates molt results to a new larval instar. But before becoming pupation, before entering the pupation, the median nerves of brain to corpora allata inhibits these glands from producing juvenile hormone, and later the low level of juvenile hormone triggers the release of PTTH and increases secretion of ecdysone. So we can say that the high level of ecdysone and the low level of juvenile hormone commits the epidermal cells for pupil development. Later on, at the time of imaginal molt, the 20-hydroxyecdazone acts in the absence of juvenile hormone, and the imaginal disc fully differentiates, and molting gives rise to an adult structure. A very common term associated in insect metamorphosis is diapause. It is the period of arrested growth and development in life cycle of an insect. Diapause may occur in any stage, that is, either it is in larval stage or in pupal or in adult. Here in this pictorial representation, we can see the mechanism of action of this significance hormone, namely PTTH, ecdysone and receptor. As I told you earlier, the juvenile hormone is very important for larval to larval molt, but during the larval to pupal molt, its secretion decreases, and the secretion of ecdysone, 20-hydroxyecdazone increases during the transition from larval to pupa, and during the pupa to adult transition there is a complete lack of juvenile hormone, and there is a high concentration of ecdysone, which you could see in this picture. Hope you all have understood the mechanism of hormonal action and its regulation. If in case of any doubt, feel free to contact me. Thank you.